Hi, it's Ben from Husky.com with today's mini mortgage tip. I'm out on the road. at the minute, so today's a fairly short one, but it's just getting down to the basics of what is the mortgage application from the point that the application goes in. What's the process to get to the stage where you're at your mortgage offer, and that's been issued. Okay, so step one. If you're buying a house, the first step is to put in an offer on a house. The estate agents will probably at that point come back and ask you for a mortgage in principle, otherwise known as a decision in principle, a DIP, an agreement in principle. We've got several names. Basically, that's when your advisor will submit a mortgage in principle on your behalf to the lender that you're looking to apply with. Basic details at that point, so that's just name, address, date of birth, any credit commitments you've got, and any employment details. And at that point, they'll run a credit check on you and say, in principle, whether they're happy to lend you the amount of money you need or not. So that's step one. Step two is if the decision in principle is accepted and your offer to the estate agents is accepted and you're ready to get started with the mortgage application full, the application will then the advisor will then submit a mortgage application for you, and at that point he's going to want pay slips, he's going to want bank statements. He probably already should have took ID from you, but they're also going to want proof of deposit, maybe a P60, all the sort of normal documents that you'd be asked for. And at that stage, they'll submit the mortgage application for you. And what happens there is they're basically just filling in more of the blanks, so putting in your employer's details, putting in the property details that you're looking to purchase, estate agent's details, solicitors, so on and so on. So at that point, that goes to the mortgage lender, and they've all got slightly different processes on how they work, but as a general rule, what happens then is that goes to the underwriters, and the documents you've sent in go to the underwriters. The lender at this point may also instruct the valuation at the same time, or may wait until the underwriters have okayed the case until the valuation's instructed. But it goes to the underwriters. They'll look at all the documentation sent in by the advisor, and they'll do one or two things. They'll either say it's an accept, hopefully, or they'll say no, sorry, we can't lend, and then obviously give you the reasons. Or they'll just come back with some questions. For example, there might be some transactions on the bank statements that they need to ask about, so they'll come back and ask about that, at which point the advisor will come back to you if he doesn't know the answers, and give them the answers for that. In the meantime, the valuation is hopefully instructed. So basically what happens there is the bank, if you've got a standard valuation, and I'll go through this on a different video about what a standard valuation is and what the other tiers of valuations are. But if you have a standard mortgage valuation, the bank will send out the valuer to value the house, and they'll come back roughly saying, is the property worth what you're paying for it, and is there anything visibly wrong with the property that affects the bank's ability to lend on it. Once they're happy with all the documents we've sent in and all the questions have been answered, and if the valuation comes back okay, at that point the bank will issue the mortgage offer, which is their binding offer to say that they will lend you the amount, and you've got it down written in paper. And the only thing that differs with some banks there is that some of them will just send that out and assume that you've accepted it and you've accepted all the terms. Some of them, for example, I've done one with Post Office this week, and they want you to send back a signed agreement currently. So sometimes you might have to do that. But that's it from mortgage application to mortgage offer. So just to quickly run through those, it's decision in principle, full application, goes to the underwriters, valuation's done, mortgage offer.